Hi, good morning. It's a wonderful Friday, and you are most welcome again to our STEM series. So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where in the world you're joining us from. My name is Estella Hildanaman, and I'm the coordinator for American Corner Aboba, and I'll be your moderator for this session. So, American Spaces provides access to current and reliable information about the United States through book collections, internet service, events and activities for everyone. So today we have a very interesting topic on our table to discuss, and it's about how to use OpenAI, ChatGPT in education and work. And facilitating this session is Stephen Maltodonko. So just a brief background about who our facilitator is. He's a trained telecommunications engineer who has a good understanding of information communication technology. An entrepreneur, Malta is the founder of Steve Dog Limited, a tech startup. He is an avid free and open source software advocate and trainer, leading over 8 years of Software Freedom Day celebrations in Ghana. And today our session is going to take a different turn. So last time we had our session, we had some popular questions coming in. So we're going to ask those questions to our facilitator. He will answer them and then he will just dive into what we have today. So Malto, the first question that we have on our table is, they are asking if what jobs are most at risk of being replaced by AI?
Thank you, Estelle, for your kind words in direction. So today, as you said, we'll be talking extensively on AI and how it is we can use AI in our work education. The question as today you're asking me has been asked a couple of times. And I'm not surprised it's coming back here again on this call. So I'm going to make an attempt to be able to answer that going forward. I've heard people ask, is AI really going to replace or take away some of our jobs? It's a very dicey question as it is. I always have to tell all the people that actually ask me those questions, because in whole, AI does not only have the capacity or capability of taking away our jobs, but we seek to be able to find those answers in the presentation. Since I've had other questions concerning that same topic. I've been given the go-ahead to dive in directly into my presentation, since we already have a part one of this presentation. But I'm going to quickly run through some of the things as it is we had talked about in the previous presentation. This is one of the presentations as it is we've had, and I've had a lot of comments coming inbox. I've had people reaching out to me from Malawi, and some of certain organizations that have reached out to me to be able to have this presentation to them. I'm grateful for all persons that have been able to get in touch and be able to sort certain answers as I've been able to provide to them. Also today, because we're going to have a very interactive section, I have some of my colleagues who will join us in the chat. An AI and ML or machine learning expert, Bryce, is going to be in the chat, so that when certain conversations as it's come up, they might be quickly resolved even before I'm able to even get us, so that we might have enough time to be able to practice some of the things as it is we need to be able to have done. We have Michael Tete as well in the chat to just be able to support the presentation as it is we have, so that we can have as many questions as possible answered. In my last presentation, I made mention of some of the things as this AI can generate or are possible of doing today. Make mention of AI being in the position of not generating or recording videos. AI cannot create creative arts. We are now in the position of being using AI to write codes, generate tests, which is going to be the backbone of our conversation today. AIs are used in generating human faces and even in the music industry. So you realize that AIs are actually affected a wide range of sectors, if you may ask me. And actually, AI is not going away; it's actually taking center stage. For some few years to come, we are going to see how much AI is going to really disrupt industry. This was one of the things that I picked last week, where AI is able to generate artworks. Where the model as it is that was used was able to generate the images that are on my left side by inputting certain number of images on the right into the platform, and then he can ask the AI to be able to either manipulate the background or even how it is the AI really looks like. There was this video which I'm playing again today for us to listen to. So this was a video that was created using deepfake. So that also means that we can actually use AI to be able to generate any video of any personality as this we have. This was a video recorded, should I say, on behalf of ex-President Barack Obama. Actually, he was not the one in the video. What it is as it is you've seen was AI actually generated content. That it means that anybody as this we have today on this, we can actually have a replica of their video when the person doesn't even have any idea. He also brings concerns about we being mindful of some of the information as it is we see in the internet. Bear in mind, not everything as it is you see might actually be wrong, because AI has actually taken over, and a lot of things might. There was this question as it is we asked, so then what is this AI all about? What we call artificial intelligence? They're just basically computers or robots that have actually been built to learn the acts in manner and way in which a normal human being can actually think, or the requirements of the intelligence of a normal human being, by certain models of either learning capabilities where they are able to reason and being able to resolve certain problems. So in summary, that's what it is AI will be able to do, because once we give you the opportunity to be able to learn items as it is a normal human being would have been able to do, when left by itself, it's capable of doing whatsoever as it is based on the intelligence as it is it has been given, performing cognitive functions, like as it is I've mentioned, like learning, reasoning, and being able to solve problems. So is AI really, as it is the question as it is was asked earlier, is it really taking over our jobs? Or is just the necessary evil as it is we have to be able to get used to as it is going forward? I'm hoping that at the end of this presentation, again, as it is I said, those questions will be answered judiciously. I shared this link the last time that if you are new to AI, you are able to use the teachable machines platform created by Google to be able to understand how AI works. We've gotten to the stage where AI is not only meant for techies or people in the tech industries. You don't need to have a computer and engineering background to now be involved in AI, because once you are in that position, then you should know that you are actually really lacking behind. I've already been introduced. This is the part 2 of the presentation on how to use AI in education. And my name is Malto. I prefer to be called. Today's focus, as you said, will be based on generative text or prediction. As it is, we have OpenAI, which is the company that actually created ChatGPT. Currently, we have 3 models that are actually available for use. There have been earlier versions. We are anticipating to have the version 5 by December. We currently have a free version, which is the 3 legacy or the 3.5 that is free for everyone to use. There is a premium or the plus version, which is actually paid for as accounts. You have a subscription of $20 a month to be able to have those functionalities as it were. So what's the difference between these 3 versions? ChatGPT 3 and 4. For ChatGPT 3, you are able to get responses in the text format. So anything as it is, you're able to interact with the AI in text format. When you go to ChatGPT 4, there's a combination of images and then text. If you go to ChatGPT 5, it's going to really disrupt even the medical field, because in ChatGPT 5, the robots are able to understand their environment and be able to move. We'll be having robots that can now either self-drive cars or be able to even cook that favorite meal of yours. You can even give that robot a specific task as it is used to AI to some extent have certain limitations, as it is I had mentioned in the previous presentation. As much as it is, we have a lot of things that GPT is helping us to. One of the major things, as it is, I made mention about ChatGPT, is that the model has been trained currently to September 2021. That means that every information that is previewed to ChatGPT, as it is, we are having, can only give you that information to that extent. A classical example, when Kwame Eugene decided to play with the AI, and this was some of the results as he decided to ask the AI who was this current year's VDMA. It was Black Sheriff, but he kept referencing it back to in as much as he tries to correct what it is he knows. But because it does not have that information, but that does not also mean that AI is not going to get to the point where it has real-time information. Just to have had the model that currently has been trained over 10 years and all the data as it is that been fed with for the experimental purposes was stopped at 2021. But we are hoping that by December, when ChatGPT 5 is released, we have had the real-time integration where ChatGPT will be integrated to the web to be able to pull information. Even though I've read articles about ChatGPT 4 having access to internet access, but because I do not have ChatGPT 4, I would not want to talk on that. Some of the things as it is, I said you should be able to prevent or avoid from in using ChatGPT will be that you not being specific enough, over reliance, because ChatGPT can actually give you errors or fake information based on the information that is currently on the internet. You should be mindful of the language as it is you are using with ChatGPT, the tone in which you address the model or the languages. So with it give you, I already talked about the limitation as it is we have. This is the account creation. You need 2 things to be able to create your account: your email and your phone number, and then your age, to be able to verify if you are above 18. There's one critical thing which are called prompts. I'd made mention of, and I define it basically as one of the things which I would refer to as the arm of the application, that once you understand the real prompts to be used in this application, you are capable of returning as accurate as possible results. So today we are going to actually have a hands-on practice and some of the hacks as this you can actually have in using ChatGPT properly in education, and then some of the things you can actually do as well in well. The hands-on is going to come. Let me just finish. So this is what it is I would want to, so that I don't have to come back to the slide again. I wanted to leave this to the last bit of it. One of the things as it is, I would say to some of my friends is that, yes, indeed, even though we are having the cry, the ChatGPT or any AI application or robots are actually taking over, we are envisioning that actually the future is not here. But I've said over and over again, the future as it is, we had always hoped for or wished for, is actually here with us. So I think this image on my left side actually has answered that question for me, that it's not as if though ChatGPT or any AI application is going to take over our jobs. But if you are not using AI applications or AI solutions or AI approaches, trust you, you'll be out of jobs sooner than you can expect. One of the things as it is, I had asked one of my colleagues would be that your son able to even download applications or games, is able to play with educational platforms on your mobile devices. Even if your son is more than 10 or 15 years and currently he is not learning how to program or do anything IT related, you currently know that you are doing more disadvantage to your kid, as it is that we are going into an era of computing AI, and almost anything you're going to do with, play with, or work with will be nothing more than machines, will be nothing more than AI, will be nothing more than big data. So the better as it is, we prepare the next generation that is coming, the better for us. In education, you can use ChatGPT for a lot of items, or in the classroom as it is, you may find. We currently have over 100 million active users of ChatGPT. Even though ChatGPT is not only the AI application that is making the waves on the internet, but this should tell you that ChatGPT has actually made a big wave in the ecosystem or in the world as it is we have today. One of the things as it is I also noticed critically about using AI or ChatGPT is that this one way or the other is not supposed to already eliminate the knowledge as it is you have. As ChatGPT, if left alone, is not intelligent, but based on the knowledge that is available or previewed to it. So if you ask ChatGPT a question and there are a lot of fake information on the internet, that will mean that whatever results as it is, it might be bringing back to you, even though there are plugins and ways as it is, of course, is being shaped in place to correct some of this mayhems or misfortunes. So that might come up with any AI application, especially ChatGPT. It does not mean that ChatGPT is correct all the time. It makes mistakes as it is. We have wrong information. Trust you, I've asked ChatGPT questions a couple of times when I was playing or trying to understand how it is it works. And I've had wrong information being presented to me. So in the classroom, you can use it to add a bit of how I call a bit of salt to whatever solutions or things as it is you might be learning. You are able to use ChatGPT to ask the application of the robots feedback based on something as it is you may be writing. You can ask it to give you a learning plan based on things as it is and based on your structure as it is you have. I'm going to demonstrate some of these activities to us and see how we are able to practically use ChatGPT in some of these scenarios. I may not be able to go through all of them. I'm not going to follow any particular order as well, just for us to have the sense that we need to be able to embrace this new technology that is coming. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had certain countries, about Italy, that actually banned ChatGPT use in education in their country. But it was not more than about a week or 2 back, they had to lift the ban because, like I said, it's not just about the negatives as the ChatGPT, but there's more good as the ChatGPT can provide to us, rather than thinking that it is making life too easy for us. I made a silly joke because I've seen once upon a time when calculators were released, there was actually demonstration on why students need bit of concerns and back and forth. But trust you, ChatGPT and its like applications are here to stay. They have nowhere to go. I'm going to switch my screen to the browser where we can now have a good feel of how ChatGPT 3, which is the open version, as it is, I want to use to practice with all of us the power of what it is it has to be able to for us. I don't know, Esther, if there are any questions right now I can take quickly before I start the hands-on session.
Hi, Malto. There are no questions yet, so we can just proceed.
Okay, just give me a minute. I'm switching my screen and then we'll take it.
So whilst our facilitator gets ready, we can just drop in our questions. If you have any questions so far, you can just drop them in the chat window and then we will address them accordingly. Thank you.
Okay, so once, like I said, you've created your account with ChatGPT by going to chat.openai.com, brings you to this interface for the first time. These are where you are able to ask your questions. These are histories of all the things as it is you've asked. You can use this as any individual conversations you've actually had with the AI. I'm going to use the opportunity to subject ChatGPT based on certain prompts as we have, as in being able to ask ChatGPT some facts. You can ask ChatGPT to give us suggestions on items. We can have comparison. We can even use ChatGPT as a mentor, where any question as it is you might actually ask a mentor, and the feedback as it is you have. ChatGPT is capable of giving that same response. You can use it in the terms of brainstorming. If it's a party or a getaway activity you want to be able to have done. If it's even a problem in your office, you can actually subject that to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is great in translation. You can actually translate into as many languages as it is you may want. As done today, I tried translating certain text into, it was a bit tricky, but I hope it still has some bit of learning to be able to have done some of the questions I've asked multiple times. And one of the beautiful things about ChatGPT is that when you ask the question the first time, and whatever answer it gives you is not right, you can ask the same question again, or ask it to regenerate the response again. By so doing, it's able to find more information. And one of the greatest things I would always entreat all of us to do will be that we need to give ChatGPT feedback. So when we ask a question, if the question is correct or not, we should be able to tell you that, oh, the answer this you've given me is not accurate. Why it is I made mention of the fact that ChatGPT has limitations, is still learning. There's still learning process for it. And also for the takeaway for me, if we have much time, just a very simple trick. I'll show some 2 or 3 tricks. You are capable of training ChatGPT to actually give you responses in your style of writing. You can actually give it a context or text as it is you have the model, or way as it is you may want to be able to have certain things done. Ask ChatGPT to learn your writing style, and any other question as it is you had ChatGPT, you can actually use that style of writing to be able to give you the response. So to ask or start a new chat as an individual, you need to be able to hit on the new conversation as it is you have on the left corner of the screen, and then you see that I'm capable of typing Okay. You're capable of typing in the text area. I'll show a quick one. Everything as it is, you ask ChatGPT, it remembers it no matter how long as it is it takes. We see this in its memory and using it to train the model. If you come to the three dots as it is we have by Excel's name, you can either upgrade or change the settings for this. You can either have the either dark mode or not. You can decide to clear your chats from the system as it is you may have, so that it prevents it from caching or having a history of some of the questions as it is you have. So I can start and just ask and say hello. You'll notice that ChatGPT will give me a response and say how can you assist me today. And we can go to any length. Maybe the first question I want to ask ChatGPT today, because I'm going to go gradual, start with setting basics, and then we'll start setting complicated prompts as it is we may have, as it is I've shared with you. So there are simpler things as it is we may be able to do, like being able to ask ChatGPT for facts. So the first question as it is, I could ask ChatGPT would be, who is the founder of mobile Ghana, and see the response as it is we have. So actually, Mobile Web Ghana is a co-working space in Agoba. It's adopted by the American corner. So this is a question as it is asking ChatGPT, and it is telling me that the founder of Mobile Web Ghana is Flourish, which is actually correct. And ChatGPT actually can actually follow up with any other question based on the previous answers it has given you. So I can actually ask ChatGPT another question based on the response it has actually given me. If we look at the extreme right of the place of the response, we have the thumbs up and the thumbs down. The thumbs down will mean that whatever response that's giving you is inaccurate. You want to be able to revert. When you hit the thumbs down, it asks you for feedback, whether it wasn't true, it wasn't helpful, it was harmful, and then give it certain responses, and then you submit so that the model is able to learn further. I can actually regenerate the response if I feel the response that's generated is not okay for me. So just have to regenerate. When I regenerate the answer, it has actually responded. You notice that it has attempted to rephrase the entire answer in a different format, even though Flamistopa is still in there and it was founded in 2010, which is accurately correct. So far, it's a Ghanaian entrepreneur and technologist with all the factors it is currently stating are well. The more I hit regenerate response, you notice on your left side that we have a count. Now we have the third count. That means that it has generated 3 responses based on the previous question as it is I have asked it. Okay, and I said earlier, based on the question as it is, it has generated, the model actually remembers anything or any information it has given you. So I can actually toggle in between the responses as it is it has already given. So you notice that once I hit the forward or the back signs, I'm able to toggle in between some of the responses. I can ask the model again, please tell me a bit more about orange. Let's see what it is. It will tell us. So this is what it is I was mentioning about, that you are capable of asking the platform follow-up question. And one of the things that it is I was looking out for was to see whether the application would tell me that her education, she was at the University of Ghana, is accurately correct. You see some of the things as it is, it has attempted to be able to bring back. And these are things that we have not fed into the model. This is just as asking on normal day what it could be about Mobile Web Ghana or who the founder is. We can actually even ask it to summarize whatever it is. It has asked it to be able to see some of the works as it is Christopher has already executed, and it will be able to bring you back some of this information. I'll go ahead and ask it. The next question will be, what does the constitution of let me use the 1992 to be specific. Like I said, you have to be concise as much as possible when asking model questions of cannot see about driving out lead. So I'm asking ChatGPT what our constitution says about if I was driving without a license. You notice that it has attempted to put the article for us, Article 41, and some of the things as it is. It says that, however, providing a clear guidance, go back. Driving without a valid driving license considered as a violation, as it is, we all know. If entity who finds you or stops you and asks you of your driver's license and you do not provide same, is capable of asking you to report or impound your car. I can ask this AI what are the possible punishments as it is that the person can open as the person can write, and it knows to give me a response. I'm going to go to the next one. So what it is I have done are just factors it is you might know that can exist that you can ask. So anything that can actually factual, you can actually jump into ChatGPT and be able to access. You can actually have things as it is called or prompts or suggestions. So you can ask ChatGPT to recommend to you books on anything, recommend to you activities as it is you want to be able to have done. So I'll ask ChatGPT to recommend 3 books on AI. Let me see on how to use AI. So these are prompts as it is we call suggestions. So you can ask ChatGPT to actually suggest to you certain things as it is you do not have knowledge about. And like I said, once it gives you that response, you are capable of, if you are not okay with the response as it is, it gives you can ask it to regenerate the response. I'd ask it a follow-up question where can I download the PDF? So it will attempt to look at some of the things or the responses as it is that's even going to its archives. And these are all what we would call suggestions, or the prompts that we refer to as suggestions. The next one will be, which I will demonstrate, will be translations. So before even we wait for the model to give us the responses or the response for this, this can be one of the downsides of using the free version based on the load as it is the platform might actually have. The responses sometimes can take a bit of time or delay to be able to get back your feedback. But the plus version of version 4 and hopefully the version 5 will not have those or do not have those lags in responding information back to you. I can even go to the extent of asking ChatGPT to recommend movie or Netflix or best Netflix movies that it is I can watch, and it will give you, like I said, all the information as it is ChatGPT have currently is dated up to September 2021. So whatever recommendation is going to spill out back for me will be as best as to what the last information as it is that was in next place in 2021. So I can ask ChatGPT. I have a movie nice with my girlfriend. Suggest let me use is if in 10 movies that will be good. Netflix. So based on what it is I've given it, it's going to list, because I have asked it to list 10 movies, it's going to go ahead and list 10 movies and give me why or some of the things as it is you may have. You might see some of the movies as it is are actually listed for me. Then the next will be translations. ChatGPT, as it is, I've noticed, based on some of the organizations as it is I work with, where sometimes you need to translate the text as it is you have based on what it is you want to be able to communicate. I've noticed and found out that ChatGPT actually translates better wordings as compared to the legacy Google Translate, as it is all of us may know about. Google Translate actually translates whatever information as it is you give it word for word, which ChatGPT does not. ChatGPT actually understands the model behind the question as it is you are even asking it, and is able to translate it to you as if it was somebody who was speaking to you in French. So I'll ask this question. I am in Abidjan, or say I am in a conference. And I am front, and I want to a waiter be best. Can you translate this for me? France. So if you see me interacting with ChatGPT, I did not even ask it to translate the context for me into French, but because I had given it the context that I'm in Abidjan, the model is able to identify that I'm in Abidjan. It's a French-speaking country, so it actually translated the context as it is I have into French for me. It is not every item as it is you might need to put it into a sentence format. If we already had let's say this which I had already typed, we could just go to translate this into French. Then paste. You notice that it will take all as this I have and translate for me directly. One of the things as it is you want to also know when interacting with ChatGPT is that the mode or manner and way in which you ask ChatGPT the question, it actually gives you the response based on how it is you ask. You can ask ChatGPT a follow-up question to translate this into Chinese or any other language. You can ask ChatGPT how to pronounce how do I pronounce and to make an attempt in guiding me on how to pronounce what it is I have asked it to be able to translate for me. I'll move on to the next one, which would look at the prompts, which would be attempting to compare different items. Like one of the things I said, I'm not following any structure. Going according to some of the things as it is I may have noted down. One of the prompts as it is you may have would be comparing items in ChatGPT as a model. One of the things as it is you can do would be to say what is the difference between 100, which is one of the old fights as it is always have 100 and iOS, right? It will give us what it is. It has platform customization, device selection, and like I said, we can stop the generation. We have the information as it is we need. We can access when it is done to regenerate this information as it is. We want to be able to have. We can ask it to either regenerate a response based on one of the things as it is we may want to be able to have it write more about. One of the beautiful things about ChatGPT or the current AIs as it is we have, and for what it is we are talking about, will be that we are capable of asking it to pretend to either rewrite this in somebody else's tone. We can mimic maybe say President Barack Obama, or we can ask it to rewrite what it is it has written in the tone of President Barack Obama or any popular personality we have known worldwide. We can ask it to rewrite this context and limit it to some number of words. So we can say that whatever this you are rewriting can limit it to 200 words. We can even ask it to either rewrite this as if though it was writing to a 5-year-old kid or a 50-year-old kid, so that some of the words or the responses as it is giving you will be very easy to understand. We can actually give it feedback and say, this is difficult to, this is this is difficult to understand. What it would do is that it will attempt to rewrite it in simple language. So if you notice what it has done, it is using now very, should I call them summarized or concise definitions of what it is as it is we have. If you see the first one as it is here, it gave me more wording. But because I told it was difficult to understand, it has attempted to rewrite whatever as it is it has written. I can still furthermore ask it to rewrite this and 100 words and pretend you writing to 15-year, or let's say a 10-year-old. So it's going to attempt to rewrite all the things as this we had asked this earlier in a more simplified manner, like one of the school of thought that says that if you're not capable of explaining something to a 5-year-old who understand it, or ChatGPT or the current AI systems we have understands whatever acids it attempts to write based on the information that is available to it. As it is, we currently have out. Since I've already given minds on this, one of the things I said would be that we can ask it to focus more on the hardware. So we can ask it, please, can you focus a bit more on the hardware? And it will attempt to now give you the differences as it is we have in comparing whatever item as it is you want to be able to have. Even though the first one as it is it gave you, he attempted to give you multiple items from different angles based on different specifications. In this, based on the first response as it is gave us, you notice that it chose platform customization, selection, the ecosystem. But I'm asking it to now focus only on the hardware capabilities. And all the write-ups as it is right for you, or the information as it is to give you back, is just strictly going to focus on that. We can, like I said earlier, it was hard to read. We can tell it that this is too long. And hard to read again if you write it hard to read. It will attempt to summarize, make it more shorter again. This is just have done. I'm going to pick on what probably we call either summary, or probably go to creative writing, then I'll come back to summary. Just a moment. Yeah. So ChatGPT as it is, like I said, we have is capable of doing certain items as it is beyond our imaginations. It makes a lot of life easy and all. And then there's one as it is I'll be talking about to be creative writing. We're able to let ChatGPT either write blog songs, jokes, whatsoever item. You can even use it to create email templates and responses for you. I'm going to quickly use it to demonstrate how to create a story line, a very short story, a song out of the story, out of that, and then maybe be able to ask it to create a poem out of whatever RCDC he writes. I'm going to give it a short item to have done, which will be to write a short story about a boy who met a lady who was at a party and decided not to take the contact of this lady until they meet again in person. Make sure the story is super romantic with vacation movie dates, long night calls, and also make it feel catching to be able to read. So anything you are mindful or expected to have ChatGPT be able to do for you, you need to be able to tell it so that it's capable of doing same for you. So in this case, I'm asking it to make sure the storyline is very romantic. I'm asking it to include or be able to write story that is catching. There were times where there were long calls or movie dates. So you notice that it has started at once upon a time in a vibrant city. There lived a young man named Ebo. Ebo was charming and kind-hearted individual who believed in the magic of love. One beautiful evening, he attended a lively party with his friend. Little did he know that this event would change his life forever. It goes on and on. I have told it that I did not take the contact of the lady. If you read ahead, Let's see if you are able to capitalize that. Let's see if it didn't miss that content. Sorry about the night came out and they both made a bold instead of exchange. So you notice that it is here for you. As it is, I had told it that I did not take the person's contact or whatever context access I'm giving for it to be able to write. It has included all that. You notice that it mentioned that there was planned surprise vacations. I told it we want to be able to have vacations. There is movie nights, movies, and the Staring Skies. So you can use AI literally almost anything you want to be able to have done. We can ask it to rewrite this into a song. You'll pick the short story as it is written and be able to put it into a song. You see verse 1, chorus. You can't imagine what it is capable of doing. I can actually rewrite the same response into a poem. And ChatGPT will gladly respond to the information as it is I give you to be able to have done. So my song has been beautifully written. As it is, you have the story as it is. I asked it. I said a short story, so he created a very short story for me. I said you are capable of using ChatGPT to write emails. You can use it to create email templates. I'm going to give it this short instructions or prompts to be able to send an email to my banker or my personal banker about a transaction that had happened on my account last week Tuesday. There has been wrongful deductions from my account. I wanted them to conduct a check or investigate what it is, and I told it my name is this, and the person I was addressing the thing to was Mamiesi. Once I asked it to give me a letter, I also asked it to be polite in the letter as it is you writing. Instead of polite, you can ask it to be gentle. If you want it to be hard, if you want him as in the platform or the AI to sound very firm, you can actually tell it to be very firm for you. And whatsoever it has for you. So you notice that it said, "Dear Mamiesi, I hope this email finds you well. My name is Malto and I'm a valid customer of UBA. I reached out to you regarding some recent transactions on my account. These are not information as it is I gave it. I just gave it certain context and it's been able to generate a draft for me. You can copy this, paste it in your email, put a screen to it, and you can send that email as it is you want to be able to have sent. You can ask it to create email templates for you if you are doing employment to certain application process as it is you are instead of writing different templates. You can actually generate the template for you. I'm going to try to look at what we can use brainstorming. I'm told I'm running out of time. I'm going to try to throw a bit more in before we go. Now you have gotten the sense of how certain things can go. So what it is we have had, you are capable of telling it to rewrite. You can regenerate it. So in brainstorming, I'm telling AI that I want to travel with my friends on the next AU holiday out of Accra, and we want to spend not more than 500 cedis per person to give us 5 ideas of what we can do on the trip in the Volta region. So if you ask this to actually brainstorm for you, you can use it to organize or ask it about you have a party, how much money you have. It can give you some of the ideas of things as it is. If it was even a wedding you were planning and you didn't even know what it is, give me your budget and tell me that this is the budget as it is I have. Can you give me or suggest certain things as it is I can do under this budget? It will gladly give you a number of items as it is you have asked. You notice that it It's telling me we can go for waterfalls and hike. Actually, we can go to the Taffy, and these are all places in the water. Just this you can go. I can ask it to expand or give you more steps on how to get this. Let's say I pick which one is interesting for me. Relax at a custom mode and expand on relax at custom mode. I've asked it to expand on one of the pointers that it has given me and give me the step-by-step of how to get the, it's going to attempt to give me the step-by-step of how to get to my destination, which is supposed to move from Accra and some of the relevant places. So even if you're a stranger in a land which you are not very familiar with, you can actually use ChatGPT to guide it. You are noticing that it is telling me I can go to Kwame Circle or Tubu or Accra bus stations to be able to get a cab, to be able to get there. This is brainstorming. As it is, we have summary where you can actually tell it to summarize something for you. So I can quickly do that. I'm told my time is up. So summarize. Summarize but not so I wish we had 5 minutes. I would have shown us some hacks we can use, but at least I think we've had enough. And also we can ask ChatGPT. I think I'll ask it to stop generating to actually do countless of things as it is. We might be able to have, you can ask it to even teach you items. So you can just write maybe the prompt, teach me coding. You can ask it to show you how to do anything as it is, how to cook, or it can give you recipes or anything as it is you want to be able to have done. Estelle, you can come in as it is. I hope I'll be able to answer certain
questions. We have just 1 minute more, but we have so many questions, so many contributions, so many adapts. And so I think we can just take one question and then we can look at doing maybe a part 3 where we can do just a Q&A because we have so many of them coming in. Looking at the time we have. So the first question that I have here is that Patience Cray is asking, don't you think AI will make us lazy?
I think AI is a necessary evil we cannot do without. It's not necessarily about making us lazy. If you ask me personally, why? Because one of the things as it is I made mention of would be that with some of the questions you want to be able to ask it, especially when dealing with academic work, there are some of the items you would need to know how the structure of whatever item you're actually looking for. If not, whatever responses it's you might actually be wrong, by you thinking that because it's AI, you are thinking that it's intelligence, whatsoever information is giving your dumping to you is actually correct. I also said that AI is capable of writing codes, right? In as much as I can ask AI to write a code for me to build a website or an application, you still need some level of skills or understanding of how the code structure works. So I wouldn't say that it makes us lazy, but it is to fasten some of the things as it is we might be doing. Like I saw one of the Python coders on Twitter who made a tweet that there was a code which under normal circumstances he would have used about 3 days to write. He has done that in less than an hour. That has saved you a lot of time. You can actually transfer into something else, but because he understands already the skills he has, he's capable to go through and be able to correct some of the few mistakes as it is the AI would commit as an error.
Thank you so much for that response. So we have to wrap up because of time factor, but then before we end today's program, I want to introduce you to an amazing online resource that you may find helpful. So this is the eLibrary USA. The eLibrary USA is a state-of-the-art digital library with 9 premium electronic databases that include digital newspapers, magazines, journals, videos, and dissertations. So usually this resource is only available to use in person at American spaces, but due to the global pandemic, we are opening up access to this amazing resource. If you are interested, please sign up using the link found in the comment section. And so this program was proudly brought to you by the U.S. Embassy Ghana, American Corner Aboba, in partnership with Mobile Web Ghana. And for all the questions that you have, don't worry, we're going to have another session which will be strictly for Q&A, and then we can address everything that you have up in your mind about ChatGPT. So that concludes our program for today. Please follow us on YouTube, U.S. Embassy Ghana, for more amazing virtual programs. Thank you all for joining us today. Till we come your way